You've tuned in to the deep dive. Today we're looking at some fascinating material you brought in, the eternal pursuit of unhappiness. It's all about the advertising legend, David Ogilvy.
That's right. And specifically, we're focusing on his idea of divine discontent, how that concept really drove the creativity at his agency, Ogilvy and Mather.
So our mission here for this deep dive is to really unpack that. What is divine discontent?
hmm And, how did it actually work? In terms of habits, the culture there, it's not just about ads, really.
Right, it feels like a mindset that could apply, well, anywhere you're aiming high.
Exactly.
And this text, it covers a lot. We've got Ogilvy's definition, almost like a list of don'ts. Then there are these 8 habits of highly creative communities.
Yeah, the agency culture itself, and even his 9 obiter dicta, these sort of core pronouncements.
Okay, so plenty to dig into. We'll try and pull out the most useful bits for everyone listening. Let's start with the big one. Divine discontent. What's the core idea?
Well, the text kind of kicks off saying Ogilvy thought good enough, just wasn't, not really. And he puts it pretty bluntly with these commands, like don't bow your head.
Yeah, I saw that. Don't know your place. Even defy the gods. I mean, that's intense.
It is intense. It grabs you straight away, doesn't it?
Definitely. And it goes on, don't sit back, don't give in, don't give up. And the one that really jumped out at me was don't win silvers.
Ah, yes. What do you make of that one?
Well, it's not just about losing, is it? It's like, don't be okay with second best. Aim higher. Always.
Precisely. It's that restlessness. And then you get, don't be so easily happy with yourself. That really gets to the heart of it, I think. It's not about being miserable. It's about fighting complacency. He uses some strong language, too. Don't be spineless, gutless, toadies, even Gollum.
Wow, Gollum.
Yeah. And don't go gentle into that good night. It all builds up to this final, absolute rule.
Yeah.
Don't ever, ever allow a single scrap of rubbish out of the agency.
Okay, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yes.
Just an absolute refusal to compromise on quality. So if it's not just negativity, how would you sum up divine discontent quickly?
I'd say it's like a constant constructive dissatisfaction. Always striving for that next level, never quite settling for what you've already achieved.
A restless pursuit. I like that.
Yeah. So the text then connects this mindset to 8 specific habits, or virtues, really.
Yeah.
Each one pushing back against some kind of self-defeating tendency. The first is courage versus fear.
Right, and it's positioned as the foundation. The text says, if fear is our principal adversary, then courage is our chief ally. It even describes this loop. Courage builds trust. Trust builds more courage. It makes you think, doesn't it? Like, how often does that little bit of fear stop you personally from trying something really different at work?
That's a really good question for anyone listening. That hesitation. It can kill potentially great ideas before they even start,
For sure.
Okay, the next habit, idealism versus expedience, or, just sticking with the status quo. This is about dreaming big.
The raise your sights, blaze new trails, compete with the immortals, end quote. Love the extra exclamation points there.
Yeah, it's quite something. It hammers home the idea that small goals, well, they don't really push anyone.
Small dreams lead to small people. Big dreams build greatness. It shifts your whole perspective, aiming for something huge, even if it feels impossible at first.
Right. How often do we just aim for what feels safe within the current rules, instead of thinking about changing the rules altogether?
Happens all the time, I suspect. Okay, what's next?
Next up is curiosity versus boring. And the quote here is brilliant. Not only is the universe queerer than we imagine, it is queerer than we can imagine.
Ah, that's great. It's a call to stay curious, isn't it? Keep asking questions, even the ones that seem basic.
Exactly. Never lose that sense of wonder. The text even says, ask the stupid questions.
Yeah.
Because they often aren't stupid at all.
And that line, when we're green, we grow. When we're ripe, we rot. Keep learning or stagnate.
Precisely. In your own work, what are those fundamental whys that keep you digging?
That's where the real insights come from, usually. Okay, number 4.
Number 4 is playfulness versus the tyranny of politeness. This one might feel a bit counterintuitive for business.
A little, maybe, but the text links it directly to invention. Necessity may be the mother of invention, but horseplay is the father.
Right. So what's the link Ogilvy saw there, do you think, between messing around and serious creativity?
I guess it's about loosening up, not being so rigid. The text mentions Ogilvy didn't care if people wore pajamas to work, as long as the work was good.
Yeah, that's a classic Ogilvy story.
And that Picasso quote, "We are all born children. The trick is to remain one."
It's about keeping that open, maybe slightly mischievous mindset.
Exactly. Shaking things up, breaking down those mental walls. Okay, habit 5. Candour versus cold arithmetic. Brutal honesty, basically.
Only dead fish go with the flow. That's pretty direct. It is. Why is that directness so crucial, though?
Well, if you just smooth things over, you never actually fix the real problem, do you? The text talks about avoiding that tyranny of politeness again. Silence when you should speak up is just worthless.
Mm-hmm. How often does fear of, awkwardness or confrontation stop that necessary feedback in meetings or teams?
Way too often, probably. It's a big hurdle. What's number 6?
Sixth is intuition versus bureaucracy. This taps into the subconscious mind. Apparently, something like 95% of our brain power is unconscious. That's staggering.
Wow, 95%. So how do we actually use that?
Well, the idea is to trust those gut feelings sometimes.
Oh.
Ogilvy apparently saw a leader's job as creating an atmosphere where creative mavericks can do useful work. Give those instincts some room.
So it's balancing logic and process with trusting that deeper sense.
Exactly. Okay, 7th habit, free-spiritedness versus giving in. And the rules here are memorable.
Ah, yeah. Rule 1, there are no rules. Rule 2, never forget rule 1.
Yes. What's the message there, do you think? About creativity?
It feels like it's about permission, doesn't it? Permission to break out of the usual boxes. The text mentions a 3-step process. Gather info, digest it, then wait for the unconscious to connect the dots.
Right. And atmosphere is key for that last part. You need the right environment.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And the last one, number 8.
Finally, number 8 is just persistence. And interestingly, it doesn't have an evil twin like the others.
Oh, that's interesting. Why not?
The text implies that persistence itself is the antidote to obstacles. Just pure determination. The quote is Churchill's, right? Never give in. Never give in. Never give in.
Powerful stuff. And that sheer refusal to quit.
Yeah.
It often makes the difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And there's that great Ogilvy advice. If the client kills your ad, do them a better one. Don't just give up.
Yeah, channel the frustration into something even better. So these 8 habits, they show how divine discontent becomes like a practical approach.
Exactly. They turn the philosophy into action. And the next part of the text looks at how this all showed up in the actual corporate culture of Ogilvy and Mather.
Right. How do they make it stick?
Well, it seems deeply embedded. Things like people first, realizing happy, supported staff do better work for clients. Big focus on training and support.
Mm-hmm.
And this interesting mix, gentle manners, hard work. So be decent, be professional, but demand high standards.
And that candor and honesty habit was key internally too and with clients. But crucially, no room for arrogance alongside it.
Exactly. Plus things like real equal opportunity based on merit, a profound client respect, acting like partners, really focusing on the creative itself being effective.
Sounds like a strong foundation.
Definitely. And they aim for global consistency, keeping that Ogilvy way across all offices.
Mm-hmm.
And always that antidote to smugness, the divine discontent again, avoiding jargon, keeping things clear. They wanted to be industry leaders, sharing knowledge.
It really paints a picture of a unique place to work, driven but principled.
Very much so. Then the text wraps up with Ogilvy's 9 obiter dicta, these sort of final declarations of principle.
Okay, let's hit a few highlights. The first one, Ogilvy and Mather One Company indivisible, unity.
Yep, clear message there. Second one, we sell or else. Very bottom line focused, advertising's core job.
Can't argue with that. And number 3 feels so current. You cannot bore people into buying your product. You can only interest them.
So true, especially now with attention spans being what they are. Then number 4 circles back to that ambition. Raise your sights, blaze new trails, compete with the immortals. All the exclamation points again.
Huh. Love it. And number 5.
We prefer the discipline of knowledge to the anarchy of ignorance. Value research, understand your audience, don't just guess.
That makes sense. Number 6 feels like an ethical guide. Never run an advertisement you would not want your own family to see.
Good check, isn't it? Set the standard. Then 7, respecting the audience. The consumer is not a moron. Treat people intelligently.
Absolutely vital. 8.
Unless your campaign contains a big idea, it will pass like a ship in the night. You need that core, compelling concept.
The big idea. Crucial. And the last one.
Number 9, only first-class business, and that in a first-class way. Setting the bar high for clients and conduct.
These 9 points really do seem to capture his whole philosophy, don't they?
They tie it all together nicely.
So bringing this all together for everyone listening, It seems Ogilvy's divine discontent wasn't about being grumpy or negative at all.
Not at all. It was this engine, really, an engine for creativity, for excellence, fueled by those habits we talked about, courage, curiosity, candor.
And supported by a specific kind of culture, one with high standards but also respect.
Exactly. The big takeaway, perhaps, is that aiming for truly great work, not just good enough, requires that constructive dissatisfaction, that willingness to push, to question, to persist.
Right. And maybe a final thought to leave people with, from the text ending, being eternally unhappy with compromise. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where are we compromising in our own work or even lives? Could embracing a little more of that divine discontent, that healthy unhappiness with good enough, actually lead to, well, better results and maybe even more fulfillment?
It's definitely something worth thinking about, that constant striving. And maybe that's where the real progress happens.